Good evening, dear learners. This is your educator Rashi Poddar for UGC NET Paper 2 English. Our today's session is based on Black Arts Movement. Now, by reading the title, you must know that you must have got a rough idea that we are going to talk about a movement that talks about the black people, that talks about the rights of black people. We are going to talk about that. Now, the Black Arts Movement originated in 1965, igniting the artistic expressions of the black colored artist. I'm talking about someone who is African American in their origin. These people, they started the Black Arts Movement. They are associated with that, and it originated in 1965. And the purpose of this, the sole purpose of the movement was just to promote their cultural pride and social change. The movement was about the identity, about the things that creates the identity of blacks. The movement faded away by 1975, but we can see its legacy being endured in different movements. What was the purpose of the movement? The purpose of the movement was very simple: to promote their cultural pride and artistic expressions, to talk about them, who are they originally, to reject the voices of the white, to reject the traditions of the white. That was the purpose of the movement. They wanted to empower black artists. They wanted to give voice to black artists. They wanted to give identity to black artists. They want to promote African American culture. We also know that a large part of in America, if we see the colored people, we see a large part of African people living there. So African American makes a big part of that place. तो ये अपना culture वहाँ promote करना चाह रहे थे. They wanted to create social change through their art, through their work, through their literary things. They encourage political engagement. इनको भी कुछ political rights चाहिए थे. Right to vote, like normal political rights, right to law, right to land. इनका ये purpose था. ये अपने historical consciousness को revive करना चाहते थे. That was the purpose of the movement. The movement designates several African American writers whose works were shaped by the social and political turbulence of the 1960s. ये जो movement है, it started because of the turbulence that was happening during the 1960s. Why particularly 1960s? Because of the American-Vietnam War. At that time, a war was going between American and Vietnam. Because of this war, a lot of turbulence got created there, and African American people wanted to create their own identity. They demanded the rights of African American. The movement, the Black Arts Movement, demanded simply the rights a normal human being should have. The movement associated itself with Black Power movement in politics. ये मूवमेंट अपना आइडेंटिटी एक दूसरे मूवमेंट के साथ एसोसिएट करके बनाता है, दैट इज ब्लैक पावर मूवमेंट. ब्लैक पावर मूवमेंट का एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट स्पोक्स पर्सन वी हैव, दैट इज स्टॉकली कारमाइकल एंड मैल्कम एक्स. These two persons opposed the proponents of integration and instead advocated black separatism, black pride and black solidarity. These two spokesperson who are related to Black Power movement, they simply said that we need to create a separatist movement. We need to get separate from the integration. We need to get separate from the mainstream and create a stream of our own. इसीलिए हमें एक black separatism create करने की जरूरत है, in which we will talk about black pride, black solidarity, black culture. We need to create that kind of movement. In his work, The Black Art Movements, 1968, Larry Neal states that black art is the aesthetic and spiritual sister of black power concept. अपने वर्क में लैरी नील बताते हैं हमें that ये जो black art movement है, it is the aesthetic and spiritual sister of the black power concept. Like these two are the sister कॉन्सेप्ट्स, ये दोनों सेम बात कर रहे होते हैं अपने कॉन्सेप्ट में. द ब्लैक एस्थेटिक्स कॉल फॉर द, ये जो ब्लैक आर्ट मूवमेंट है ये क्या बात कर रहा है? इट कॉल्स फॉर द exploration of the energy and freshness of the black vernacular. Vernacular is something that is local, that is their native. तो ये जो मूवमेंट है हमारा ब्लैक एस्थेटिक्स, इट टॉक्स अबाउट द ब्लैक वर्नाक्यूलर थिंग्स, कि हमारा नेटिविटी, हमारा आइडेंटिटी, हमारा सब कुछ होना चाहिए अपना. ये अपने राइम्स के बारे में बात करते हैं अपने वर्क में, अपना एक पर्टिकुलर राइमिंग स्कीम है इनका, ये अपने मूड के बारे में बात करना चाहते हैं. इम्यूलेटिंग जैज एंड ब्लूज, जैज म्यूजिक और ब्लूज म्यूजिक जो है ये दोनों जॉनर है म्यूजिक का, एंड दीज टू जॉनर्स हैव कम फ्रॉम द अफ्रीकन अमेरिकन पीपल. तो ये धीरे धीरे यहाँ से हमारे पास रैप म्यूजिक भी आता है हमारा. तो रैप म्यूजिक, जैज म्यूजिक, ब्लूज म्यूजिक का अपना जो लैंग्वेज है, दैट इज द लैंग्वेज ऑफ द ब्लैक्स, क्योंकि इसका ओरिजिनेशन वहां से है हमारे पास. तो ये उसको सेलिब्रेट करना चाहते थे, स्पेशली डीलिंग विद द लाइव्स एंड कंसर्न ऑफ लोअर मिडिल blacks. They wanted to talk about their people, they wanted to talk about them. We have a very famous writer, Imamu Amiri Baraka, who founded the Black Arts Repertory Theatre or School in 1965. Other writers who are associated with this movement are Etheridge Knights, Sonia Shanich, Haki Madhubuti, Nikki Giovanni, John Alfred Williams, and Eldridge Clevener. These are the writers that are associated with Black Art movement. So the whole purpose of the Black Art movement was to promote their own culture. They wanted to talk about them. They wanted the rights for them. That was the purpose of the movement. And to develop that purpose, to come in the limelight, they got associated with another movement, that is Black Power movement in politics. We have some key writers of the Black movements who are the pioneering figure, who shaped the African American literature and who talked about the revolutionary ideas. The first and foremost important writer is Imamu Amiri Baraka, and he is the leading figure who championed Black nationalism and cultural pride. Gwendolyn Brooks is the next writer, and this is the first African American to win the Pulitzer Prize, recognized for her impact poetry. Then she is the first writer. Nikki Giovanni, a prominent poet and activist known for her bold expression of black life. तो ये black arts movement जो है ये अपने works के through अपने culture को promote करना चाहते हैं. Simply, they wanted to break away from the white tradition. I hope so it is not that tough for you to understand कि ये क्या बात करना चाह रहा है. It is just very simple. 2 lines में समझने का ये movement है आपका. बट इससे क्वेश्चंस बनता है. क्वेश्चंस यही राइटर्स के ऊपर क्वेश्चन बनेगा आपका, इनके बेसिक कॉन्सेप्ट्स के ऊपर बनेगा कि व्हाट आर दे ट्राइंग टू प्रमोट, इनका क्या पर्पस है. लाइक दे आर ट्राइंग टू प्रमोट देयर कल्चरल प्राइड, they are trying to promote their identity, they are talking about their vernacular language, rhymes, music, rhythm, they are talking about that, they are talking about their works. ये सारे क्वेश्चंस बनेंगे आपके इसमें से. इनके कुछ नोटेबल वर्क्स भी है हमारे पास जो कि सोसाइटल नॉर्म्स को चैलेंज करते हैं. लाइक पोइट्री में वी हैव पोइट्री फ्रॉम राइटर्स लाइक अमीरी बराका, दे कैप्चर द एसेंस ऑफ द मूवमेंट. थिएटर में भी वी हैव अमीरी बराका. डुशमैन उनका एक बहुत ही इम्पॉर्टेंट थियोरेटिकल वर्क है विच टॉक्स अबाउट द रेस एंड आइडेंटिटी. प्रोज वर्क्स में वी हैव राइटर्स लाइक नोजाक शंक. I'm sorry, I'm not able to pronounce the name, it is too tough, and it highlighted the struggles of black women. In essays, we have figures like James Baldwin, who examine cultural identity and societal issues. Visual arts, mein we have some writers. Visual arts during this period enhanced literary works through impactful imagery and messages. अपने imagery के through ये दिखाना चाह रहे. Even अगर आप इनका जो ये period है 1960s to 70s का, अगर आप इसके अराउंड की मूवीज भी देखोगे जो इस पे बनी है, इस पर्टिकुलर ब्लैक थीम्स पे बनी है, अमेरिकन मूवीज आप देखोगे तो उसमें अफ्रीकन अमेरिकन का एक डिफरेंट लैंग्वेज हमें शो किया गया है, विच इज देयर वर्नाक्यूलर लैंग्वेज. दैट इज द लैंग्वेज, दैट इज द कल्चर ऑफ देयर दैट दे वांट टू प्रमोट. तो उन्होंने अपनी आइडेंटिटी के लिए to have a separatist view, to have a separatist identity other than the Americans, they started this particular movement, which is known as the Black Arts Movement. I hope that you all have understood the point till here. Now, this particular movement, the Black Art movement, got associated with, they build a connection with other movement like other some movement writers like Beat generation के साथ भी इन्होंने अपना काफी close association बनाया है, because Beat generation also talks about a particular class that is not the mainstream class of the society. They talk about someone who is sideline of the society. Black Art movement भी उसी के बारे में बात करता है. So they draw a connection between the Beat writers and Black Art movement writers. Now, these were the only points that you need to remember regarding this particular topic. I hope that you all have noted your points. This was a very short topic to deal with, but you need to remember the key points. I always tell you that you need to remember the key points in order to answer any question in UGC NET paper. ये टॉपिक इज वेरी स्मॉल 5 मिनट का टॉपिक है समझने का, बट ये जो कीवर्ड्स है ये लोग भूल जाते हैं. लाइक इट स्टार्टेड इन 1965, एंडेड टुवर्ड्स 1975. The whole purpose was their cultural, the whole purpose was to promote their cultural pride, social change, talk about these particular points that were the purpose. यहाँ से आपका क्वेश्चन बन सकता है. These are the important points. You will find this PDF of mine in my Telegram channel. You can join my Telegram channel using the link that is provided in the description. Now, I would like to end the session. I hope that the points are clear to you. Have a lovely day, learners.